Well, I am currently here at Denver International Airport, as you can probably tell, and I'm actually about to head back to San Francisco in roughly about an hour and a half. Well, I was supposed to leave about an hour from now. My flight was actually at 5:17, but now it's been delayed to 5:47, so yeah, a little bit frustrated about that. But either way, that of course is not what this video is about. This video is obviously about FC Cincinnati becoming the 24th team in MLS. It has just been announced, well, it actually announced 2 days ago that they will be joining MLS next year, and that they won't have their new stadium done by then. They'll still play in their stadium that they're currently playing in the USL, which is Nippon Stadium. And yeah, they are the 24th team in MLS, and I think they're the first team out of the 2 teams that is selected in this MLS expansion round that will be playing. I know Nashville will probably play in 2019, and Miami I think is in like 2020 or something like that. Now obviously my reaction to this news is that, like some people reaction to this news, I'm obviously a little bit disappointed. I mean, I was kind of one of those person that really hoped that Sacramento was going to get this expansion. I mean, it was between Sacramento, Cincinnati, and Detroit, and to be fair, it was really Sacramento versus Cincinnati in this expansion round. You know, no disrespect to Detroit, but they looked like they were never gonna get this final spot in this round of expansion. And you know, unfortunately that didn't happen, and the reason why it didn't happen is because the Sacramento ownership group they just did not have enough money. They just did not put enough fund to this team. You know, I think this is probably the biggest problem and the reason why Sacramento have not been into MLS. I mean, we always talk about how Sacramento, back a couple of years ago, that they were going to come to the MLS, and that unfortunately the commissioner, Don Garber, never let them to come in, and they just keep kind of passing them by, even though he tends to always visit Sacramento and say that could potentially be the next city to get an MLS team. But the reason why that is the case is that they just don't have a good owner with enough money to just kind of fund the team. And in this day of age and in how MLS is now, it is all about the money. It's all a business kind of approach. It is not like what it was a couple of years ago, where if you have the fans and if you have the passion and if you just have like the stadium, you're good to go. No, not anymore. It is always just about the money. And FC Cincinnati, obviously the ownership group had the money, and they certainly had more than what Sacramento did, and that was pretty much the difference, because both team has good fan support, and both team has the stadium getting ready to be built. But the only difference is that Cincinnati had more money, and MLS wants that money, and that is how they got it. Now I know that by saying that, it kind of says that it's kind of in some way say that FC Cincinnati kind of bought their way into the MLS, and in some way they kind of did, in a way where they just had enough money to just buy themselves into it. And I know there's been a lot of talk about promotion and relegation and whether or not we're gonna have it. Listen, that kind of stuff, you know, I'm not kind of a person that disapproves promotion and relegation here in MLS, or a guy that is in favor of it. I'm kind of like just a neutral in it, but I just think that it's still a little bit too early for promotion and relegation. I think in a couple of years, maybe in like 10 or 20 years down the road, maybe we're gonna have promotion and relegation where teams can just get into the MLS with this whole expansion kind of things. But we'll see how that's gonna go in the future. And the other thing that I also want to talk about is that with Cincinnati now in MLS, what's gonna happen to the Columbus Crew now? Because we knew that coming into this expansion draft, or not expansion draft, but coming into this expansion kind of round, it had a little bit of an impact in terms of the Columbus Crew, because if Cincinnati comes in to MLS, that means there's going to be 2 teams in Ohio, and I'm pretty sure that with now Cincinnati being there, and potentially I think the league want them to be the main team in Ohio, it looked more likely now that Columbus is going to go to Austin, and that really sucks, the fact that that will happen. I mean, the fact, and I've been part of this campaign of Save the Crew kind of things, and you know, there hasn't been really a lot of talk about whether or not are they really gonna move to Austin. There hasn't been like any deal or whatsoever, but this, with Cincinnati being in MLS next year, this is gonna take a huge blow to the Save the Crew campaign, and that I think Precourt just saw that, hey, you know, Cincinnati is in the league, and you might as well just cheer for them, because they're a team from Ohio. And I'm pretty sure that obviously is not how it works, but that's probably what he's thinking in his mind, and most likely now he's gonna move the team to Austin. But you know, we're gonna see how that situation is gonna be, and obviously this expansion kind of round is not over yet. We now actually have 26 teams now in MLS. There will be 27 and 28th team in the MLS right around the next couple of years. Now, whether or not, when are they going to announce the next 2 teams to join MLS, it's still a question to ask. And you wonder, you know, with Sacramento missing out, are they going to be now the favorites of being the 2 teams that is going to be in the next round of the expansion kind of talks? For me, I think they would, but they're definitely going to be facing some competition. I think Detroit obviously is going to try to do something with the stadium deal. That was pretty much one of the only reason why they weren't really kind of competitive, because they chose Ford Field as their stadium. I mean, really? You choose an NFL stadium? And the league will never allow new expansion team, unless if it's like a brand new stadium that they just built, to be just a stadium where an MLS expansion team would play. And you also got other city like Phoenix and San Diego, and maybe even St. Louis try to kind of like challenge to see if they can get the kind. So it's no guarantee that Sacramento will be one of those 2 teams in the next expansion round. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this expansion of FC Cincinnati being in the league next year? Do you like it? Do you hate it? And let me also know, what do you think is the next 2 teams that's going to be in MLS, and who are going to be the 2 top candidates that will be in the MLS next year? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash that subscribe button. I'm actually going to get some food right now because I'm getting a little bit hungry, and since my flight is still about an hour and a half before departure, I might as well just grab something to eat. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time.